Welcome,
Michael.
everyone. We are so thrilled to see you coming into this meeting. We are here today to celebrate the launch of Nate Regier's latest book, Seeing People Through, and we are so thrilled that you have decided to join us today. It might take a few moments for everyone to get into the room from the waiting room, but we'll be getting started in just a few moments. So thank you so much for choosing to spend a part of your Tuesday with us. It is such an exciting day. Nate, how are you feeling today?
Well, I just texted my team and I said I'm actually feeling nervous, which is unusual because I do lots of this kind of stuff, but I guess I'm a little bit nervous because I'm excited and it's a big day. We've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Well, so as we're getting rolling, I will request that everyone in the call, please go ahead and mute your microphones so that we have great sound quality on this call. So in the event that your microphone is not muted at the moment, please take a moment to mute your microphone, and we will give you a chance later on to unmute your microphone and share your well wishes with Nate. But for the moment, we'd love to maintain great sound quality on this call. So welcome to all of those of you who are joining us. We still have some folks coming in. I would remind you as you are coming in to please go ahead and mute your microphone so that we have great sound quality. And I'd also like to invite you throughout today's event to use the chat. So if you want to take a moment to find the chat, you can use the chat to post a question. You can use the chat to post some congratulations to Nate on the launch of his new book. You can use the chat to say whatever you might like to say, and we would love to hear from you. And Nate, although he may not be looking at the chat right this moment, he will be looking at the chat later. So it would be a great place to leave your congratulations and well wishes for Nate. Again, if you could go ahead and mute your microphone so that we maintain the best possible sound quality on today's call, we would very much appreciate that. If you could take a moment to do that. So we're going to go ahead and officially get started, even though some of you are still coming into the call. And we are here for the virtual launch party of Nate Regier's latest book, Seeing People Through, published by Barrett Kohler. So Nate, we want to start with you and give you a chance to share a bit of your vision and passion for this topic and this book.
Well, thank you. Yes, I have a few things prepared. Welcome everybody. It's so great to have all of you here, and I've been scrolling through some of the video feeds, and it's wonderful seeing familiar faces and also new names and faces as well. I wanted to share a little bit about why we wrote this book. And although I have here the question, why did I write this book? It really is a group effort, a team effort from Next Element. I did the writing, but it's been about 10 years in the making. So a little bit about why we did this. When Becky, Weaving Influence is our publicist, and we so appreciate the work that they do. And one of the things they asked for early on was, what are some selected quotes or snippets from the book that really capture the essence of what this is all about? And so I pulled some of those out to help highlight why we wrote this book and why we think it's important. First reason is that leadership is evolving, and our world is getting more diverse, and there's more kinds of diversity, and more leaders are being asked to bring that diversity together and leverage it towards a common goal. And this book is definitely poised to help leaders do that. Um, Something that we've known for a long time, and it's becoming even more and more true, is that relationships matter. And they don't just matter, they matter the most. And transformation of any kind happens within relationships. And communication is the activity of relationships. So this book is all about how we communicate in healthy ways within relationships. Because when we don't, miscommunication wastes so much energy. We've been posting and writing a lot about the research showing how much energy is wasted in negative conflict and drama. And as we learn about diversity, if we don't also learn how to communicate with people that are different from us, it's kind of a waste. And at the same time, a book like this is definitely going to give you clear guidelines and strategies for getting back on track when miscommunication occurs. Because it's not good enough to just say, oh, well, here's what it looks like when it doesn't go well. We need steps for leaders to get back on track. Inclusion. A good friend of mine that works in diversity said that diversity is a fact, but inclusion is a choice. Inclusion requires conscious effort. And this book is about seeing diversity and personality not as an obstacle to be overcome, but as an opportunity for us to be more and do more and see more. But inclusion is tricky. It's not as easy as just saying, hey, everybody get on board. There's so much more that we need to understand and appreciate in order to really leverage diversity so that people feel included in the best possible way that maximizes their personality. And finally, it matters how you show up. Becky, I want to thank you for that phrase, showing up. It's something that has become really part of our team and our culture is it matters how we show up. And leadership doesn't require leadership means that we take care of ourselves. And this book invites lots of opportunities for leaders to adapt to be more effective, but we're not asking anybody to change who they are. Instead, this book is about how you grow more fully into yourself so that you can be agile, so that you can be selfful, so that you can show up. There's a story about how we named this book, and it's all in the title. And I'm not going to tell you the story, but I want to share with you that the title came from a new or not New Year's cookie, a fortune cookie. And when a certain member of our team opened the fortune cookie, this is what she saw. It said that the intention is not to see through people, the intention is to see people through. And in that moment, we knew that this is what the title of the book would be, because there are so many models of individual differences based on colors and animals and all these labels. And how many people have we worked with, or maybe you've been part of this, where a tool gives you a label, and the next thing you know, we're putting people in boxes, we're making assumptions about people. And instead, we're trying to use the model to see through people, like we can figure them out, instead of using it to see them through and be with people in relationships throughout the duration. Here's a list of the table of contents so you can get a quick view of what the chapter titles are and see what we're focusing on in this book. I'm not going to go into detail about those, but simply to mention that the way that we structured the book is every chapter has what we call a quick hit chapter summary. And this is a 1 or 2 page overview of what is the main thrust and the main points we're trying to make. And this is for folks that maybe want to skim the book and get a real high level understanding first before they dive deep. If you want to join the story, it's a fable, and this is a story, and there are characters, and there are guides, and there are mentors, and you can join Kayla as she learns about her personality and starts to unlock her leadership potential. And we also have lots of reference guides. And so for those of you that want to learn the rest of the story and really get into the details of all of the different components of process communication model and how it applies to leadership, it's there for you. And we have a free facilitators guide that you can download from seeingpeoplethrough.com. And this is designed to help you if you're an instructor leading a course. It's designed to help you if you are a team leader, maybe conducting a group book study or team building. And if you're wanting to use this book personally for your own development or in a coaching relationship or a mentoring relationship, there's also sections for you there. Here's what I hope to accomplish in this book, what we hope to accomplish at Next Element. First of all, is we want to give leaders a better toolkit to maximize their personalities and the personalities of the people they lead. Like I mentioned, we just don't see any great tools out there and great ways for people to go from, hey, here's how we're different, to so what, now what? And this book is all about that. I personally want to raise awareness about the most effective model of communication I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of stuff, and there's nothing that matches PCM. It's changed my life. It's changed how I lead. And it can do the same for you as well. And for all of that community of over 3,000 PCM trainers and coaches around the world, we want to give them a tool to help them in their marketing, their sales, their training, and their coaching. So you might be asking, what is the process communication model? For those of you that haven't heard of it, you'll hear a lot about it in this book, but here's a little bit about it. Uh, this is a picture of me with Dr. Taby Kaler. He's the originator of this model. And Dr. Kaler wrote the foreword for my book. And here's how he described what he developed. He said, PCM is the science of communication. It's the GPS of relationships and the MRI of personality structure. Wow. That's a pretty significant analogy there if you think about what that means. For over 40 years, PCM has been making a difference in companies all over the world. These are some of the ones that have used it. I want to bring special attention to NASA, where Dr. Kaler kind of first started finishing the development of his model, and PCM was used to select and train astronauts for the space shuttle program. Pixar has two in-house trainers, and they use it for character development and developing the characters and the plots for their movies. You may recognize some of the PCM or the Kaler types in movies like The Incredibles or Inside Out or Brave. There's a few things that make PCM unique. If you're familiar with other models of individual differences or communication, here's what we like about PCM. It's the only model of personality based on observable communication behavior. It's not based on theories or colors or how you're like an animal. It is based on actual mathematical analysis of behavior. And what that means then is everything that you learn when you're learning PCM is observable behavior. Another unique feature about PCM is that it measures and quantifies types in people, not types of people. So what that means is within each of us is all of these different Kaler types in a preferred set order that can be measured. And within us is the ability to communicate with and appreciate and leverage those types in everyone else. Also, PCM distinguishes stable and dynamic features of personality. And what is unique about this is that we know that personality is stable, but also people change during their lives, and PCM can show both of those things simultaneously. Finally, it clarifies the relationship between motivation and negative attention. This is crucial for leaders because leaders are charged with inspiring and motivating and influencing people. And at the same time, they have to be able to respond to negative attention in a way that doesn't get them hooked, doesn't escalate and create more drama, but instead responds to the positive unmet need behind that negative attention. This is really a game changer for leaders that have learned how to do this with their people. And what I like about it, what I really like about PCM is it teaches diagnostic and communication strategies. So I don't know how many times I've heard somebody say, oh, if I just had a disc profile on them, or if I knew their MBTI structure, then I would know how to communicate with them. And you don't need that with PCM because it teaches you the actual diagnostic techniques to assess and adjust to the person right in front of you in real time by observing behavior. So I want to stop there, Becky, and I'm really curious. Of all the people on the call, I'm curious how many of you have read the book already. So Becky's going to put up a poll here just for fun. I'm curious how many of you have already read the book.
And people are beginning to answer that question. I will own, Nate, that although I have loved the training that our team has received related to PCM, I have not had the pleasure of reading the book yet. I ordered a copy on Amazon last week. It has not shown up yet. So I am amongst the no's, though I can't answer the poll. We'll give you a few more moments to go ahead and answer that question. Looks like many of you have answered. If for some reason you can't see the poll, you could feel free to go ahead and put your conversation in the chat and let us know there. So Nate, do you have any predictions before I show those results?
Well, I did scan the people here. I'm going to guess 1/4.
Have already read the book?
Yes.
You nearly nailed it. So
Wow.
24% of the people on the call have read the book. So for those of you who did read the book, I want to just give a quick plug. One of the best ways that you can help Nate celebrate the launch of the book is to leave a review on Amazon. It may only need to be a few sentences of specific feedback about what you benefited from in reading the book, but we would greatly appreciate your taking a few minutes over today or over the next few days to leave that review, as it provides important social proof for those who might choose to buy the book. So for those 24% of you who have read the book, we would love to request and appreciate you doing that on Nate's behalf. So I'm going to go ahead and close those results. And Nate, I want to actually suggest, I know we put a slide in for this time of discussion, but I'm going to recommend that you pull the slides down so that those of us who are on the call can see each other's faces. For those who chose to be on camera, it's a fun look at the group. So thanks to all who have chosen to join today.
Oh, wow.
Celebrate
Yeah.
with Nate. And depending upon the size of your screen, you may have to scroll through 3 screens to see all of those names and faces. That's pretty amazing and powerful. So what I'd like to do at this point is allow those of you who have chosen to join this party to unmute your microphone if you have a question for Nate about the book, or if you want to speak your congratulations, or if you have an idea of ways that you want to support spreading the message of awareness both of PCM and of Nate's book and of Next Element in the World. And what I'm going to do is actually just ask you to visually, if you're on camera, raise your hand and then unmute. We just don't want everyone to unmute at first. So who would like to speak to Nate first? Just looking for someone if you want to raise your hand and unmute your microphone. One of the things that I think is cool about this call is that Nate's editor from Barrett Kohler, Charlotte Ashlock, is here. Great to see you, Charlotte, and appreciate all that you did to support the creation of this book and the value that it's bringing. You know, I see some Next Element team members today. I see Jamie and Sandy, and I see Julie, and so many of the Next Element team who have been a part of the creation of this book, even though their names are not on the cover. So who would like to speak? Oh, I see a couple of people. I see Leslie and Carla. Carla, let's have you go first, and Leslie, you can go second. And then it looks like Ryan may be third. I'm waiting for someone to unmute. Maybe you should all try to unmute at once, those of you who have raised your hands. Ryan, are you ready? Okay.
This is Leslie. So I just wanted, I'm also from Barrett Kohler. Charlotte did an amazing job on this, and I've been working with Nate on some of the other parts, the marketing and other parts of the book. And I just want to say this is an amazing book. We're so proud to serve as its publisher. And this is publisher of your second book, Nate, with Barrett Kohler. And echo your call to post reviews on Amazon. That's like one of the greatest things you can do to support it.
Thanks, Leslie. Good to see you. Looks like Charlotte wants to speak. I think also Ryan and Carla both had their hands up. So if you're able to unmute. Carla, are you unmuted? We cannot hear you. It looks like you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. So maybe keep trying, make sure you've selected a microphone. And in the meantime, Charlotte, if you want to say something, or Ryan.
I think, am I good now?
Oh yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Alrighty, I have an external microphone. I forgot to turn it on. Sorry about that. My computer one doesn't work. Well, I have not read the new book, Nate, but the other one, I cannot tell you how many, your Conflict Without Casualties. I have used those methods and have gotten the audiobook and the other book to give to my children and their spouses. And it's really revolutionized some very difficult conversations that have gone so well. In fact, the participants have said, wow, I can't believe this went so well, because everybody knew it was going to be a tough conversation, and it was a win-win all the way around. So thank you. And I'm looking forward, can't wait to read this one.
Thank you, Carla. It's my daughter's getting married on Saturday, and her fiance both did the PCM profile that goes with this book. And they had premarital counseling with one of our trainers that is also a pastor. And it's been so amazing hearing them talk about the insights they have and what it means for their relationship and how they are seeing things. And so it's very personal for me this week.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Hi, Nate. It's me, Ryan.
Ryan, hey, my friend.
Brought some props to the house party today.
I love it.
Hey, folks, some of you may know that I'm a fellow student of PCM and work at a university where we teach in an educational leadership department, particularly at the PhD level. And I can't wait to roll out this information, this material to our students who are superintendents and principals and leaders in higher education. Nate, it's so critical, and I want to thank you. And I'm looking forward to, again, road tripping to Newton, Kansas. Everything's willing, I hope. This coming January, we got the paperwork going, and I may even stay in a silo this time. So thanks for all you've taught me.
Love it. And be sure nobody confuses him with Guy Fieri.
It looks like Martine is waiting to speak.
Hi, can you hear me okay? Yeah. So I'm based in Denmark. So I just wanted to say that I got to hear your book through the audio, up some volcanoes in France over the summer. And congratulations, Nate, for getting it into a story, because actually it is such a technical product in some way that to actually tell it as a story was really, really clever. And, so, you know, it's good to hear your voice saying it. I just hope that we could distribute it here more actively in Europe, because that I don't understand at the moment. But I also wanted to say on the marketing front, how much I have enjoyed the interviews you've done on each chapter, which I've also followed religiously. So just really well done, Nate, for bringing it to another level. And it was so nice to see Toby Kaler in that first interview. Then finally, I have a daughter also who's not getting married yet, but also I did their PCM profiles with her boyfriend, and it's incredible the difference it's had on their relationship and the difficult conversations they had early. So it's great. Well done, well done, well done.
Oh, thank you. And we are working hard with the publisher to make the book available as broadly as possible. There's lots of options that people might not know about, so it's okay to email me, or absolutely, and maybe there is an option for you to get the book that you don't know about yet that I can share.
Super. If there are others who would like to speak.
I'm going to put
Charlotte.
my email. I'm going to put my email in chat, so you can contact me if you have questions like that.
Yep.
Perfect. Looks like Charlotte would like to
Charlotte's
speak.
been waiting.
Yeah, so one of the really coolest things I learned when you were first explaining PCM to me, Nate, was that thing you referred to briefly at the end of your talk, the diagnostic for figuring out from listening to someone which personality type they are. And I was wondering if you could actually tell the people here a little bit more about that, like what words and sort of expressions they should listen for if they're wondering what kind of person they're dealing with.
Oh man, that's a big topic. I can tell you that the phrase I say the most is "I think," because thinker is my phase floor right now in my personality. So I start a lot of sentences that way, and it reveals my my perceptual frame of reference. Tomorrow on my blog, I'm going to post an article called "It's Not About the Orange," and it's a video I recorded in 2017 about a miscommunication conflict I had with my wife about an orange. And it was because two different personality types were making assumptions about each other. And so that's as far as I'll say for now. But if you're interested, I actually have a video where I introduce all 6 types during the story of the 3 little pigs.
Yeah, because basically every single personality type has like that giveaway phrase, and it really makes you feel like you know this secret nobody else knows about the world. And I remember when you gave me the PCM assessment, it was like you magically knew all these things about my life that I never told you. So I was like, what is happening? It's just such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Charlotte. If there are others who would like to speak, if you'd like to unmute and talk to Nate or give a visual signal before you unmute, we do have a few more minutes for a few more comments. Okay, Phil, you're up.
Hey, Nate. It's been a long time.
Great to see you, my friend.
I'm sitting out here on my deck, listening to you and looking at the ocean. And it's really great to hear you. I love you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. We've had some of our conversations have been very formative in what's in that book.
Okay. Well, that's great. And I always enjoy having a beer with you, man.
I can't wait for that day.
We have a couple of moments. If anyone else would like to speak, feel free to unmute or raise your hand. There are a couple of requests for resources in the chat. So if any on the Next Element team can grab the link to the 3 Pigs video or potentially to some of the blog posts. I believe that we'll be sending out some follow-up from this conversation, and we can include some of those links there as well. Also, some questions about the chapter interviews. I think those are on Facebook and the Seeing People Through launch team. It's a private group that you can request access to.
I'm going to put into the chat right now our YouTube channel, and that is, oh, oops. I just gave it to one person. Now I'll give it to everyone. This is where you can go see the 3 Little Pigs video is live it's not private, so you can watch it. And also all 9 chapter interviews are on there also if you want to watch them.
Fantastic. I will just leave open for about 1 more minute the opportunity to unmute your mics. And while people are deciding whether you'd like to speak, I will mention a few other ways that you can help Nate in raising awareness for this book and for PCM in general. We mentioned before leaving an Amazon review. Obviously, buying the book on Amazon is a great help. If you represent an organization that might buy the book in bulk or bring the training into your organization, obviously that's always a big win and a way to spread the message further faster. If you have social media channels or a blog or a podcast or a newsletter into which you can include Nate's information about the book and about PCM, that is a welcome support as well. There are so many ways that you can support an author, but basically if a message matters to you and you're willing to share it with others, you can reach your networks with that message and build awareness so that more people hear about the good work that Nate and Next Element are doing in the world. So Nate, I know you also want to let folks know about a special
Oh,
offer
yeah.
related to the release of the book. If you want to put your slides back up, and thanks to all of you who are sharing your well wishes in the chat. It's so great to see all of your faces.
Yes, I want to preface this by I want to apologize to the people that don't live in the United States because this is available just in the US now, but it's coming globally. So I thought it would be okay to share. We have developed, I was commissioned by Kaler Communications International, or that owns the PCM model, to develop a leadership profile. And so I was developing that profile with our team and with some other professionals around the world at the same time as I was writing the book. So these go together. If you're interested in learning about your own PCM personality structure and all about um, how that applies to what you're learning in the book, we're offering a special on the PCM leadership profile for those who live in the US. And it really is a comprehensive guide on how to leverage your personality and leadership. There's 11 critical areas of leadership where you'll get insight. Everything from unconscious bias to how you make decisions to how your character strengths naturally can help you, but also how those character strengths can work against you when you're in distress. And what your distress looks like second by second, observable behaviors and ways that you can turn it around. And it's fully integrated with the book and the free facilitator's guide. So it works really well for team discussion or working with the groups in any way. And this week we have a bonus going on. You can purchase it from seeingpeoplethrough.com for a 20% discount this week. And the promo code is there. Write down SPT 2020 if you want to take advantage of this discount. Also, if you buy it this week, you'll have an opportunity to register for a live debriefing webinar with me, where we can go through your profile in a group setting and we can all talk about what you're learning and questions that you have. And I'll also be sharing some additional kind of behind the scenes insights on different aspects of your personality. So if Charlotte thought that we had amazing insights just from listening to her talk, imagine the insights you can get from seeing your whole profile in front of you. And Charlotte and I sure had a good time doing that as well. So that's the bonus for this week. And again, I'm sorry that it's only available to those living in the US, but the good news is it's coming around the world, hopefully within a few months.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Nate. And thanks to so many of you who have joined. Gail is mentioning that she's confused about how to get a leadership profile. So if you visit the book website, seeingpeoplethrough.com, there is a promo code. And for those of you who attended today, we will be sending some follow-up materials, and likely you can click straight through those links in order to access your leadership profile. So hopefully that helps. So I'm wondering if any of the Next Element folks want to unmute and have any words. We have a couple of minutes left together today. Again, we're so grateful that you've chosen to celebrate with Nate, and we appreciate your support of his book and message in the world. Nate, do you have any parting wisdom?
Mm-hmm. Well, Diane asked about scientific documentation about it. This book does not offer all of that, but it is available. All of the validation research and other research is available from Process Communication Model, the main website for the model for Kaler Communications. I don't have any parting wisdom other than Becky asked me if I had any other big plans for this week. And honestly, this is it. This is the culmination. After this, I am checking out and I'm going to go get my daughter married to an amazing guy who has a harmonizer. He's harmonizer based. He's in a persistor phase. He's healthy. And for those of you that know PCM, you can appreciate that. He's just a gem and I can't wait for two of them to get hitched. But I'm busy. So I got lots to do, and I'm just so great to kind of finish the week on this high note. Thank you, Becky.
Sure thing. Thanks again for coming, everyone. Have a great afternoon.